Oh.
Yay.
Hello and welcome back to the Times Leader Beer Gang. And once again, we have another new member here. We are joined by Miss Tony Pinello, who previously was always behind the camera, but now we are going to be starting to include her in our videos here.
I was going to say, I don't think we can call her new. She's an OG member.
You've probably heard my stupid laugh in the background
Right.
somewhere. So.
Yeah, she was just back there. now she's in the video. But this week we are going to be talking about a personal favorite of mine, actually, the Golden Cold Lager from Susquehanna Brewing Company. I have a couple of quick facts about the Golden Cold up, so we could do that first. According to SBC's own website, they say that the Golden Cold Lager is a refreshing German-inspired beer brewed with Pilsner malt and a bit of sour malts to bring out traditional rounded note. It's a 5% ABV lager with a 23 on the IBU scale. So it's a pretty light sort of, well, not totally light, but it's like less bitter than you might expect from some other beers. I've already said that it's one of my favorites. I guess we could go into my opinions in a little bit, but what did you guys think?
So, I'll start, I guess.
Yeah, we'll go down the line, I guess.
I was a big fan of it. I really enjoyed it. My first thought was it felt very refreshing.
Yeah.
I compared it to on a fall day you're apple picking and you bite into a fresh apple. It doesn't taste like apples, obviously, but it has that kind of refreshing feel to it. It felt like a lighter Yingling a little bit. Not Yingling light, but not as heavy. So I very much enjoyed it. I think it's something I could definitely have as like a regular beer a beer I have regularly.
Right.
So.
Like just added into the rotation of, because I think, especially around here, when you hear lager, first thing you think of is like Yingling, so, but I feel like this makes a good alternative to that sort of style.
It's definitely a good change of pace.
Right. And I think it has a bit of a bolder flavor than Yingling does.
And I definitely agree that it was bolder, especially up front. Because the only lager I can really think of that I've had is the Yingling lager, which is kind of like the measure that I would hold it to. I like drinking Yingling lager because it tastes like bread, and I really like bread. And I did get, for me, I was saying earlier, I'm the kind of person that puts like 10 tablespoons of sugar in her coffee. So my bitterness tolerance is a little bit low. I thought it was more bitter than a Yingling
Absolutely,
up front.
Yeah.
Very malty. I definitely tasted the malt. And I was expecting the aftertaste to be a little bit dry, a little more bitter, but it did have that like bready, yeasty aftertaste that I like. I thought it was very refreshing, and as I was drinking it, it definitely mellowed out for me a lot. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was pretty good. I probably wouldn't get it again, just because it was a little bit heavy for me at first.
Too strong, yeah.
And I'd rather spend less money on a Yingling. So that's how I felt about it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty light. I would say it's like definitely a dad beer. I don't know. Like if I was to pick out a craft or a fancier beer for my dad that I thought that he would like, I would probably go with something like this because it's not, like bitter, or at least for me, it wasn't too bitter. But it wasn't just your Miller or your, Yingling or whatever else. But yeah, I probably wouldn't get it again. I didn't do too much for me. Wasn't that memorable, I guess. But it wasn't bad. Better than like the fruitier beers from SBC because I don't really care for those. But
right. I have long been a fan of SBC's beers. I've liked basically everything of theirs that I've tried, and this is actually the beer that turned me on to all of their brews. I, like you guys said, I like how it takes like the traditional lager style, turns it up a little bit, not too much. I think this is a good one to have in the rotation that just feels familiar but different, if that makes sense. I don't know. I really enjoy this one. It isn't my favorite of their beers. No, because I tend to enjoy like their IPAs a little bit more. But I really enjoyed this one, and like when I'm like planning for a gathering, you know, remember gatherings?
Those are crazy.
Yeah, when I'm having some friends over and I want to do something a little bit more than like the standard Yingling or Miller Lite, but also something that I know everyone will like, I tend to go with the Golden Cold. So that's my recommendation for them. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I definitely, like, I think the word that just popped into my head is it's definitely safe.
Right. Yeah.
More people will like it than not. It is, even if you're not the biggest fan of it, it's very drinkable. As our colleague Joe loves to say.
Yes.
How drinkable is it? This is a very drinkable beer.
Right.
Even if you're not the biggest fan of the taste, you'll still enjoy the beer, I believe.
Yeah, it's smooth. It goes down easy, and you know, I think it's a crowd pleaser. You know, I don't think anyone.
Gold
would.
and it's cold.
Exactly. You know, it does what it says on the tin. So, and that's all you can really ask for.
Like craft beer with training wheels.
Exactly. But I think that does it for us this week on the Beer Gang. This is our first episode of the new year, actually, when I think about it. So Happy New Year.
By 2020?
Yeah. Hopefully 2021 is a little bit better. We're filming this before the New Year, so maybe you guys know something we don't.
Yeah.
But make sure that you tune in next week for our next new beer. We don't know what we're going to be doing yet, but I'm sure we'll try something good. And as always, if you want to subscribe to the Times Leader and support everything that we do here, give us a call at 570-829-5000.
Yeah, and don't forget, give us a follow on Twitter, TL_BeerGang, and let's give a nice welcome to our 2 new beer.
Should I do Vanna White for
tasting
Tony?
personalities.
I'll do it right back.
Yeah, tune in next week and we'll see if we have 7 people on the cameras.
It's just the whole
office. Everybody
Get
wants free
everyone in
beer.
on it at some point or another.
Great. Have a good one, guys.